Looks like you found that easier than I expected.
Yeah, thankfully it was pretty straightforward in the end. You made it sound like we'd be carving statues out of fruits or something.
Well, brace yourself, because the next step is anything but straightforward. I'll be using this cold press to extract flavor compounds from the ingredients. A kind of special food processor I got the Fontaine Research Institute to make for me. It uses cold temperature extraction to isolate the essence of cooking ingredients, which can then be used to flavor dishes more precisely. But this isn't exactly standard kitchen equipment, so that probably didn't make a whole lot of sense. Let me give you a demonstration instead.
Custom-made equipment from the Fontaine Research Institute, huh? That's some pretty high-tech food prep. Paimon's never used anything this weird before. Cool! No, weird.
The device isn't cold enough yet. I need to reduce the temperature. A dash of frosting! And done. These are the flavor compounds extracted from our ingredients. I've processed all the fruit you chopped up earlier.
Wow! Even the smell is so much more concentrated. What next? Do we add all this stuff in?
Absolutely not! Throwing everything in at once will ruin the balance of flavors. We have to go slowly and carefully to calibrate the exact flavor we want. I'll demonstrate again. Now, watch closely.
I guess I'm finally on the right path.
Slowly and... And voila! Now it's your turn. Not terrible. Considering this was everyone's first time blending flavor extracts, it could have been worse. But the traveler's work was surprisingly good. Are you sure you've never done this before? You got almost perfect results on your first try. Oh, well, they do say adventurers are multi-talented folks. Now I've seen it firsthand. Alright, now for the part I've been looking forward to. I want each of you to cook something from the Hotel du Bois' current menu. I'll judge your submissions and give you a final score. That's right. The true test of your cooking skills is the finished product. It'll be good practice for the contest itself. Now get to it. Chop chop! How's it going? Have you picked a dish yet? Choose wisely. I expect you to present the most delicious thing on the menu. I know this doesn't represent what you're capable of. Try again, and this time, I want to see you make a proper attempt. How's it going? Have you... Look at that! With the grace of a snow-winged goose, as I like to say. Now, let the grating commence.
pretty good, right? Not to brag or anything, but Paimon's a bit of a connoisseur when it comes to la food.
6 points.
What? Oh, well, fair enough. Paimon doesn't cook all that often, so as long as it's a pass.
That's 6 out of 100.
What?
You say you're a connoisseur, but it's quite clear from this dish that you have far more experience consuming food than creating it. By that logic, I suppose you think listening to Lady Farina on repeat every day would make you an opera singer.
Aww.
Me next. I'll have you know that this batch of macarons has 2 whole tablespoons less sugar than my previous ones.
So you went from 12 tablespoons to 10? Well, it's nice to know you actually measured it out. Because it tastes like you just threw in whatever was left in the jar. 6 points.
Aw.
Now to the final dish.
So, what do you think?
This is our last hope.
8 points.
Darn, that's barely higher than what we got.
Not exactly. The color is spot on. Beautiful aroma. Excellent presentation. I have to give this one 8 points out of 10. Maybe even 9 points.
Huh? How did you pull that off?
Don't get me wrong. There's room for improvement. But still, this is clearly the work of an accomplished chef. I can tell that you've put many hours of work into honing your skills in the kitchen. I can really taste the grace of the snow-winged goose in this dish. The traveler's journey, with all its trials, tribulations, and setbacks. Not to mention the frustrations of having a picky eater for a partner.
Hey, you made that last part up! No way did you taste that!
Well, it looks like I lost fair and square. I guess you'll be taking the Traveler as one of your assistants then?
But if it takes 3 chefs, that still leaves 1 slot remaining. Maybe Paimon and Navia should keep practicing and see how it goes?
Chef Escoffier.
Oh, it's Hilaire! What brings you here?
I heard the news about the cooking contest. You're doing Gâteau de Bourg, right? I was just wondering if you needed any help.
And you think you're up to the task, do you?
Oh, no, I know I'm not there yet. It's actually my dad who wanted to help.
Firma, last I heard, you could barely get out of bed.
Chef Escoffier, Navia, Traveler, thank you all so much for everything you're doing for me and my family. I've had enough of sitting around at home while you run yourselves ragged. If you let me, I'd like to help you win this cooking contest.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
Don't you worry. I'll be fine. I'm feeling much better now. I'm sorry. I know I've been rather useless these past few days, but not anymore. The fact is, I'm a fine chef, despite recent events. I've proven myself in the Hotel de Bourg kitchen, so if anyone's qualified to work under Chef Escoffier, it's me. I think. I hope so.
Firma, have you even set foot in a kitchen since leaving Hotel de Bourg?
I have not, but I'm fully rested now. I know I can handle it. I'll prove it. Let me whip something up for you right now. Huh? That's strange. Why are my hands shaking?
What do you call this
Ma?
I can't seem to grip my knife.
Do it again! Again! Again!
I...
Hopeless. Get out of my kitchen yesterday.
Dad, what's wrong?
I don't understand. I was feeling so much better, and then Will I never be able to work in a kitchen again?
Dad, talk to me. What happened?
I think the real issue here is not physical exhaustion, but psychological trauma.
Monica, when did you get here?
Probably because you were all concentrating so hard on your cooking. I didn't want to interrupt your flow. But anyway, I'm so sorry. If only I'd known how serious your situation was, I would have stood up for you sooner.
You have nothing to apologize for, Monica. During those long nights of redoing every order, you were the only person who looked out for me.
Oh, come on. All I did was make you some tea. I doubt it was much help. Savannah was so ruthless toward you. I probably should have brought you something stronger.
She sounds like the worst. All right, another Savannah horror story. Let's hear it.
She's been getting harsher and harsher on us ever since she heard about Escoffier's new role in the Fleuve Cendre. Seems like no matter what we make, she'll find something wrong with it.
What is this? It looks like a dog's been at it. In the trash now!
Then she orders us to redo the dish again and again, but we never know what's going to make her happy.
Do it again, do it again, do it again!
Every time you remake it, you just get another earful from her.
Either straighten yourself out, or get out of my kitchen!
So now, it seems like just picking up a kitchen utensil gives me flashbacks of her yelling at me.
Oh man, that must be awful.
The more I want to get it perfect, the more my hands shake, and the more scared I am of making another mistake.
How can you give up so easily, Firma? You weren't a quitter when you were working for me. And even under Savannah, you talk about working late into the night trying to perfect your dishes. That says to me that you still hadn't lost that determination to prove yourself. What changed?
I don't know what's come over me. When I think back, I just remember feeling like my heart and my hands were growing heavier and heavier as the shift went on. Each time I had to redo a dish, my heart sank a little further. Maybe Savannah was right. Maybe I am just hopeless at this.
Dad.
I see. Well, it sounds like there are some deep issues at work here. Ones that won't be resolved by merely seeking compensation. I will win this contest, and after that, I encourage you to approach Savannah and talk this out.
But what if you can't find another assistant in time? Clearly, I'm in no state to help out.
You think being one person short will ruin my chances? Let's not forget, I taught you and her everything you know. Even if I had to go it alone, I would present the perfect gâteau.
Oh, well, Paimon and Nadia will still keep practicing, just in case.
And so will I.
Yeah! And if worse comes to worse, we can always get the Spina di Rosula to put out an emergency call for chefs. There's gotta be someone out there, right?
Actually, I thought maybe I could help. That's sort of why I'm here.
What? Why didn't you say so?
I was going to, but then... well, this is the first chance I got.
You do this for us? Thank you so much, Monica.
All right, fine by me. But aren't you still working for Savannah? Joining the other side seems like a guaranteed way to put your future employment in jeopardy.
I know, but it's all right. I've made up my mind. With the way things are, I can't keep working for Savannah much longer anyway. Unless I want to become the next Fermat. I'm done with sucking it up. It's time to try and turn things around. If this cooking contest can get Savannah to see the error of her ways, then I'm sure she'll forgive me for this.
Well, Hyman didn't think we'd be poaching from Savannah's staff to get our third person, but there you go. Anyway, Monica's a professional chef, so nothing could possibly go wrong now.
Great! Then it's settled. And to congratulate you all on making the team, I propose a Spina-sponsored meal to celebrate.
Spina sponsored? Wait, you mean I'm cooking?
Well, I promised the Traveler a feast in the Fleuve Cendre. And I know how much you've been looking forward to it.
Yeah! Feast, feast, feast!
All right, if you insist, then prepare for some of the finest food of your lives. That's not a bad idea, actually. Wait, hold on. You need to finesse that further.
That was a dream come true. Hyman never knew Fontanian cuisine could be this good.
Why, Savannah? Why? Oh, nothing. I was just flicking through the original Codex de Boer. I wanted to see if there was anything I'm missing. Something I hadn't noticed before. That might explain why Savannah's so desperate to get her hands on it. But I can't find anything. It's just some hastily scribbled recipes in between diary entries from Modeste's adventuring phase. And most of it's not even legible anymore. The copy I gave her not only has all the recipes in full, but even includes my own private tips and notes from years of experience. Surely that's infinitely more useful than this old thing. Yeah, maybe. Still, it's just hard for me to imagine that the Savannah I knew would go to all this effort just to make a point. We were. At least I always thought we were. She was a little shy, but meticulous with everything and everyone she dealt with. She made a few mistakes here and there, but she was quick to correct them whenever they were pointed out. And she was always striving to improve as a chef. Those qualities are why I recommended her to replace me as head chef. I never imagined for 1 second that she'd cause Fiamma and the other staff so much grief. Well, I mean to an extent, of course. I pushed hard for her to get the role. And the idea that she turned out like this because of me is difficult to come to terms with. I wonder if this is how Modeste felt back when he was writing the Codex. Yes, with his good friend and co-founder of the Hotel de Boer, Savelli. The story goes that after Modeste unveiled his Gâteau de Boer and was hailed as a culinary genius, he was admired and adored by all. But his newfound fame slowly drove him and Savelli apart. Unlike Modeste, whose every new creation was an instant hit, Savelli seemed to face setbacks at every turn. Doors that would swing wide open for Modeste would shut in Savelli's face. And with Modeste being whisked off to all manner of functions by his celebrity friends, he had less and less time to discuss the culinary arts with Savelli. People started gossiping about Savelli, and their relationship between the two gradually soured. Everything came to an abrupt end when Modeste, still in the prime of his life and still hailed as a genius, suddenly died from an acute illness. And that was it.
They neither had a decisive split, nor got the chance to properly reconcile. Their story just came to an end. One rumor had it that Savelli actually killed Modeste out of jealousy, even as the latter was hoping to make amends. Unlikely. It's a popular theory, but there's no real basis for it. At least there are no records of Savelli ever being convicted of a crime. Still, beyond a point, there's no way of knowing what truly happened in the past. All we can do is try to make sure the present doesn't quite go as badly. And that's why I have to win this contest tomorrow. Then get the truth about everything that's been going on, even if it means cracking her open like a nut. You're right about that. Just follow my lead and victory will be ours. Let's hope that Savannah isn't all sizzle and no steak. After all the work we put in, it would kinda be a shame if tomorrow was a complete cakewalk.
Something you wish to report? Go on. You have... Undivided attention.
It's cooking contest day! To the Hotel de Boer! Toot sweet!
Did you hear the news? Escoffier's coming back for a cooking contest.
Wait, seriously? Escoffier in a cooking contest? Now that I've got to see!
I don't get it. Why would anyone in their right mind challenge her to a cooking contest?
Mesdames et messieurs, welcome one and all to the Hotel de Boer and to this most exciting of cooking contests.
Savannah, I've brought the original copy of the codex you asked for.
Monica? Huh.
In the interests of fairness, this contest will be conducted in a double-blind format. Once the dishes are complete, they will be sent to the back of the kitchen where they'll each receive a label. The labels will be placed out of sight underneath the plates, only to be revealed after the judges have sampled them and reached a final verdict. This is to ensure that no one will know which dish is made by which contestant.
As one of the judges, I promise to be fair and impartial.
When my meal got interrupted yesterday, I never thought this is how they'd make it up to me. Getting a seat on the judging panel is a pretty sweet deal.
Both contestants have taken their positions. Then, without further ado, let the Hotel de Boer cooking contest commence!
Monica, Traveler, it's go time. Let's do this.
Alphonse, Gaspar, get to work! Do not disappoint me.
Looks like our two hedge...
That should be enough flavoring. Now hurry up and balance the flavors. Stay calm, Escoffier. There has to be a way to balance the flavors. Just think.
Come on, Escoffier! Come on, traveler!
Yes, chef!
Oh, tension in the ranks on Team Savannah. Will this slow their progress?
Goodness sake, Savannah, what are you doing? Oh, forget it. I've got to focus on my own dish. What are you doing, Escoffier? Your team's waiting on you.
So, what do you think?
Escoffier is already on the final step of the recipe. Let's check on Savannah's progress.
I think this flavor profile is still a little bit off.
Enough! Oh, useless! Both of you, make like an egg and beat it! I'll do it myself!
Wow! Is Savannah serious? Can she really make up for lost time working alone?
You can't match Escoffier's talent.
I present to you Gâteau de Bourg. I was just exercising caution. I had to make sure everything was perfect.
Time's up! Contestants, please take your dishes to the back.
Huh. That guy was right. You really can't tell whose is whose just by looking at them.
We both made the same dish after all. For all her flaws, Savannah's a talented chef who earned my recommendation for good reason. She wouldn't screw up something as elementary as the cake's appearance.
Whoa! This is really rather good.
Wonderfully soft and fluffy. Beautifully sweet. This is a masterclass in how to make Gâteau de Bourg.
I would give this one at least 9.9 out of 10! Only because there's something about the flavor of the base. It's just a little different from the recipe I'm used to.
Huh? Really? I couldn't tell.
All right, on to gâteau number 2. I haven't had a single bite and already this aroma is a delight to the senses.
I have a feeling that this gâteau will be a gâteau for the ages.
How exciting! I'm gonna dig in. I think maybe someone got a little carried away when they were adding the sugar.
Not just the sugar, it's the flavors too. This is all over the place. Who made this?
It appears the decision is unanimous. This gâteau is far below the standard we would expect.
And Paimon thought this might actually be close. Turns out she can't bake to save her life.
Something's not right here. Savannah may not be perfect, but no way is she this sloppy.
I can now declare that the creator of the first gâteau has won this cooking contest. Now, all that remains is to turn the plate over and reveal the chef's name underneath.
What? It's Savannah?
No! That's impossible!
Hey, Savannah! You cheated, didn't you? You cheater! What did you do? Oh, you swapped the plates, didn't you?
Well, someone's a sore loser. These cakes went from the oven to the judge's table without me ever laying a finger on them. And everyone here can attest to that. It was Van Gem's staff who labeled them in the kitchen. If you're looking to accuse someone, why don't you start with them? Isn't it more likely that Escoffier's lost her edge? Oh, or maybe her assistants let the team down.
You take that back!
Judges, we demand a rematch.
That's enough! What's done is done. As head chef, or rather as team lead, I take responsibility for the dish I served. Whatever went wrong and however it happened, I should have spotted it. Savannah, I didn't think you'd stoop this low just to beat me in a bake-off. What happened to your chef's pride?
I don't know what you're talking about.
If you want the Codex de Boer that much, you can have it.
Escoffier, no!
But you must promise me that you'll apologize to Firma and compensate him for everything you put him through.
It's a little late to be negotiating terms. The contest is over, and I won. That means you owe me the Codex, and I owe you nothing.
Look, Savannah, you may have fooled everyone else, but can you really fool yourself? What I'm offering is to accept defeat without looking to expose what you've done. But only on the condition that you promise to stop putting so much pressure on your staff.
Fine. I'll treat this as your final handover of duties from one head chef to the next. So, will that be all, ex-head chef? Or is there any other unfinished business you'd like to leave in my hands?
I didn't mean that to be a scolding from your former boss, just a word of advice from a fellow chef and a friend. But I don't know if you're even open to input from other people anymore.
I know what I'm doing. I don't need your advice.
All right, fine. I'm glad to hear it.
Escoffier!
The Codex de Boer! Finally. Now, at long last, I will succeed.
Escoffier? How could you let her get away with this?
Yeah! The Codex is a souvenir of your time here! Doesn't that mean anything to you?
It's all right. It was just a bake-off, not the end of the world. I'm already over it. Besides, it's not all bad. She agreed to compensate Firma. That's mission accomplished for the Spina. Honestly, if I'd have known that giving her the Codex would solve everything, I'd have just done that in the first place. I mean, why bother with the whole cooking contest? It's such a waste of time and energy.
No. No! This doesn't make any sense!
Huh?
That's it? No secrets, no nothing? I don't believe it! This can't be happening.
Oh, Chef Savannah!
Savannah?
It's nothing life-threatening. Just a lot of pent-up stress and exhaustion.
Oh, I knew it.
Pent-up stress?
The truth is, however hard she might be on the rest of us, the person she puts the most pressure on is herself.
Yes, there are nights when she makes us redo things over and over into the wee hours. But for her, it's every night. She'll hide herself away in the kitchen, working on new techniques and recipes, and only realize how long she's been at it when we come to work the following morning.
But why? Why would she do that?
Our best guess is, she doesn't want to be seen as less of a chef than Escoffier.
And there it is.
Even so, that's no excuse for taking her anger out on the rest of you.
Yeah, and it's definitely no excuse for cheating in the cooking contest.
About that, we honestly have no idea how she did it. We were focused on our own work the whole time, like she asked.
Leone and Algalia were the ones I tasked with labeling the cakes. I've already spoken to them both. They're at a loss to explain it too.
Not to worry. Come on, join me downstairs. I'll interrogate the guilty gâteau myself.